Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. Hold on a minute, let me just check. We asked 100 people if this Liverpool side is better than the 99 United side. Our survey said, wrong answer. They're not even better than 2012-13 United because they're only going to win the league. And this is why brilliance should only be measured at the end of the season when the going gets tough. Because winning games all the way through Christmas and early January is fine. But when the going gets tough, that's when winners rise to the top. And unfortunately for Liverpool, you will win the league unless it gets suspended, but you're not going to win a treble or even a double because you're out. You're out. But look, we shouldn't gloat. We're having a crap season, but you know, we're having a good time at the moment in relation to Manchester United. And we will be talking about Jadon Sancho. Let's just fly straight into Jadon Sancho. I want to talk about Pogba. Some interesting stuff on Herrera, which I think is disgusting, but this is the division in the fan base sometimes. Haaland as well. But let's start off with Jadon Sancho, though. Obviously, Dortmund knocked out behind closed doors last night. Absolutely disgusting, can I just say. I don't like PSG anyway. I can't stand Di Maria. I think Neymar's the same. I cannot stand PSG and their smug, cheat code way of winning football with, you know, just buy. I would absolutely despise football if Champions League is won by PSG. But what I despised last night about PSG, you've got a 19-year-old in Haaland. All right, he didn't come to United, but I've not behaved badly about it. I wanted him to come to United. He went to Dortmund. You know, his agent's Mino Raiola, that's his mistake. But whatever, I think he's a fantastic young talent. He's got his own celebration where he sits there and does that. PSG knocked them out last night and all of them sit there and do that, including Mbappe and everyone else. And I thought, what a bunch of twats. Like, seriously, you know, he's a young 19-year-old lad and you think it's a good idea to mock him. And it's not banter. It's petty, it's snaky, and that's exactly what you did when you tried to knock us out. And I'm so glad that still really winds them up, because I think what a horrible... I mean, look, maybe I'm in the minority here, but I think some people will take it as banter. I think it goes beyond banter. I think it's bordering on picking on a 19-year-old lad who's big enough to deal with it. They'll inspire him and he'll have a great season, and a great career. But PSG... I would hate them to win the Champions League, to be honest. I think I'd rather City win the Champions League than them. That's how bad it is. Maybe not, I don't know. But look, let's fly into the show. Dortmund got knocked out last night, so a lot of people are talking about Sancho. I think the most relevant thing about Sancho is what the Dortmund CEO said yesterday, which is that if Jadon Sancho says that he wants to leave Dortmund, they effectively won't stand in his way. It's not what they want. They want him to stay at the club. He said that I believe he will be one of the 2 or 3 best players in the world. And they want him to stay at Dortmund, and they want him to stay as long as possible. But if he does come and say he wants to go, then they'll discuss it, and effectively they won't stand in his way, which I think is a major development around Sancho. There's been so much news around Sancho recently. Is he going to go to Chelsea? Is he going to go to United? I think the writing's on the wall that Sancho does want to leave Dortmund, and it's not a disrespectful thing. He's gone there. They've been an absolutely superb platform considering he was at Man City. If he'd stayed at Man City, I guarantee he'd be nowhere there the level he is now. Dortmund have nurtured a future world star again, and Sancho, I'm sure, is very, very grateful for that. But he's ready to take that next step, and I think the next step will be the Premier League, and hopefully it will be Manchester United. The fact that Dortmund are saying that they're open to that now, effectively, really does open that door up a little bit more. Look, they're not going to get mugged off. They're going to want a decent price. My concern around Dortmund and Sancho is that Ousmane Dembele left there however many years ago for 130 million, I think, to Barcelona. Sancho's better. United are going to have to get that price down. They're going to have to get it down to a more reasonable, I would think, maximum 120, hopefully around 100 million. I do think Sancho is worth what Ousmane Dembele went for, but I hope that football prices have probably dropped a little bit there, considering what Neymar went for, what Mbappe went for. I think those were silly prices, and I think football needs to readdress itself. And we maybe with the global crisis we're going through at the moment, I think we're going to go into a recession, so maybe prices will come down for that. So Sancho at a more reasonable price, and I think Dortmund will need to be reasonable on that if Sancho wants to go. But very, very positive news. Them getting knocked out of the Champions League last night, some people were getting excited. Oh, that means he's definitely coming. I mean, Dortmund were never going to win the Champions League, I don't think, anyway. So he was going to get knocked out at some point. They will be in the Champions League next year. So I don't think Sancho being knocked out of the Champions League last night means he's going to go, oh, I'm fed up. United aren't in the Champions League at the moment, and Chelsea might not be in it, and he still could go to either of those clubs. So I think the big news about Sancho is what the Dortmund CEO is saying, is that they're open to selling him effectively, and if Sancho wants to go, and I think we know that Sancho will want to go. It's not about hating Dortmund, wanting out of Dortmund, although there was a little bit of disruption with Dortmund in the early season. I think it's just about progression. He's an English lad. He's gone to Germany to develop his career. That has worked fantastically well. And I think he wants to come back to the Premier League now. So I think that's what we will see happen. And as I said, with United, the way they're playing at the moment, I think United are the favourites. We are the front runners. That could change quickly, although it would be wrong of me not to discuss the wider implications of this global crisis at the moment. And we are getting very, very close to behind closed doors in the Premier League. We've got it with United, obviously, later. Join us for the watch-along. And we're getting very, very close to that in the Premier League. There's another meeting today. This is going to happen. We've had a Juventus player who's gone down with the illness as well. So this is it. It will go to behind closed doors. And I don't think it'll be long before it's closed behind doors, is suspension. Because a footballer will get it. And when a Premier League footballer gets it, we've already got a Serie A footballer who's got it, then they'll just suspend the league anyway. So we're getting closer and closer to that. And that's where we're at with it. I mean, there was talk that behind closed doors games would not be televised. They'd only be televised to season ticket holders unless it was an already pre-planned televised game. I don't know how you work that. It won't be shown in pubs. So season ticket holders will have the game. They'll just invite loads of people around their house to watch it. How do you do that? I mean, it's going to be an odd situation that I don't think will develop. I don't see that happening. I really don't. Anyway, look, Pogba, we were talking about Pogba yesterday wanting to stay. There was a little bit yesterday that's a load of nonsense. It wasn't really coming from any official source, but there was still some people were saying that Pogba still desperately wants to go, and the club know he's going to go, and they're going to use that money to buy Sancho. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens with that, aren't we? Pogba wasn't back training yesterday for United, so he won't be involved in any of the next two games. Probably back in training next week, if that has any relevancy. I mean, we're living day to day at the moment with this crisis, and who knows? I suspect the Spurs game at the weekend may just be a game that we have fans at, but it may well be the last one for United fans, so we'll see what happens with that one. We are on Thursday, so hopefully we will get a game. I mean, my stance on it is that, look, this crisis is going to get bigger and bigger, and people are obviously going to get infected, but outside games in an outside atmosphere, I mean, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Also wanted to talk to you about and Herrera. Now, this to me today... Oh, actually, can I just show you something? I'll do this now while I remember. United Stand exclusive t-shirts and jumpers. We've got the new Bruno one out now. The link's in the video description. A lot of people are getting these. At the moment they're not what do they call it? They are available. They're worldwide shipping. Everyone can get hold of them. I'll just show you the new Bruno design here as it uploads. That's the black one, which I quite like. But you can also get it in burgundy, forest green, grey. The grey one's quite nice. Navy is very nice as well. And red. And as you can see there, that's the design on it. Bruno, BF18 with the trident going across. Portuguese Magnifico. So that's your Bruno t-shirts you can get. They're exclusively out new now on the United Stand page. And they do ship worldwide. Quite a few people getting hold of them. It's not a limited run print at the moment, but depending on orders, we might have to stop it. 5 Cantonars one sold very, very well at Christmas. You got your United, which I had on yesterday. Adored t-shirt, the Class of 92 design, the green and gold United t-shirts there as well. The 99 one is very nice. I love the 1999 one. And I think it's very relevant at the moment, isn't it? The 1999 one, if I just show you that. Why is it not letting me? There we go. 1999 with an FA Cup, Premier League and European Cup in the middle. The proper treble, which again will stand the test of time. Is anybody ever going to do that? Wear that t-shirt with pride. Links in the video description if you want to get that, or your Bruno one. And I don't want to do that. I want to do that. I want to talk about Ander Herrera though very, very quickly. He got a load of stick yesterday that I just don't understand. I don't understand this at all. So Ander Herrera put a tweet out saying football's nothing without the fans, and a load of United accounts replied, basically calling him a snake, basically saying you're a bench warmer, basically saying football would be better off without mercenaries who go for money. And I was like, Jesus Christ, like, this is like, I don't get this. Like, all right, the start of the week, we saw the Ollie in, Ollie out crowd going at each other. I wish it was that simple. I wish it was just that. But then we've got so many factions within our fan base. It's scary. I mean, the Ollie in, out one, I can sort of see that. I can understand why people were Ollie out. I can see why people were Ollie in. That's different. Pogba. That divide. So an Ollie inner isn't necessarily a Pogba inner. They could be Ollie in, Pogba out. So, or you could be Ollie out, Pogba in, or you could be Ollie out, or Pogba out. It's just another topic to be divisive about. And now we've got Herrera as well. Like Herrera, people going in on Herrera. Now the situation, I'd have Ander Herrera back tomorrow. Ander Herrera loves this football club. The facts are out there. Why are people saying that Ander Herrera is a snake or a mercenary or anything like that? Everything about that was a lie, and it was a proven lie. People are talking about and I mean, this is how scary. Denzel Washington said something great. You know, a lot of people now just want to be first, not right. It's about putting information out first, not putting it out accurately. And remember with Ander Herrera, we heard all that stuff that, he turned down 300, he's gone to PSG for 300 grand a week, he turned down 200 grand a week at United. What a load of rubbish. It came out that he's on about 150 grand a week at PSG, and that United wouldn't offer him any more than 100 grand a week, and that United let his contract run down, and Ander Herrera got to January and PSG went, well, we'll give you 150 grand a week, and he was like, well, United haven't even offered me anywhere near that, and they're just letting my contract run down. And Herrera, when he left, said United is a business, not a football club. So Ander Herrera, who spat on the Man City badge at the Etihad, who was one of the most passionate players we've had in a very bad 6 years, he left this club because this club didn't treat him well and basically forced him out. And a club that did want him treated him better. I had no problem with Ander Herrera leaving. It was 100% on the owners of this football club and how they let contracts run down. We've seen it again with Gomez and Chong this year, and thankfully we have got Chong, and hopefully we'll get Gomez as well. We saw it with Martial, we saw it with De Gea, we've seen it with Mata as well. So many players having their contracts run down to save the money for the club, and Herrera was one of those who went, you know what, up yours, you're not treating me like that. I'm not going to stay here on a pittance when other people are going to pay me what I'm worth, and I'm not going to let my contract be run down. And he said it when he walked out, the club is run like a business, not a football club. And I still think that it is. So it saddens me when United fans basically take the side of the Glazers. Like, if you're slagging Herrera off, you're taking the side of the Glazers, because the facts are out there about Herrera. He wasn't offered 200 grand a week. He isn't on 300 grand a week. He was offered a pittance and his contract was allowed to be run down. And PSG, as much as I dislike them, intelligently went, bloody hell, he's a £30 million player. He's available for free, and we've only got to give him 150 grand a week. Bargain. And Herrera was just like, up yours, United, then. Not United fans. He's always spoke greatly about us, but to the club. So all these people slagging Herrera off, I think you're just basically, you're getting into bed with the Glazers, really, because they're the reason Herrera left. Herrera's always been open about his love for the club, but he hated the way the club was being run in relation to the business side. And I applaud him for that. And if the club have changed because of things like that, then Herrera, that decision was right. But I just think we're so... I think sometimes we're just so sheepish. Like, we believe any old crap without actually digging the research and finding it out, which hopefully this is what this channel and these shows do. We talk about the news in the story in the news, and we try to give it that real fan common sense approach. We don't always get that right, but we try and find the truth, or the closest thing to the truth, with a common sense approach, and you see a lot of that in the comments. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. Smash a like on the video, subscribe if you are new. We'll be live tonight at about 5 o'clock with the team news and the watch along for the game. Hopefully, fingers crossed, Flex is in the game, even though it's behind closed doors. We think he might be getting in there, so we'll have some good footage for you, fingers crossed on that one. And check out the Bruno t-shirts if you want to get those. I'll just leave it up on the screen for you now. Hopefully, he says. There we go. That's not the one we want. Link in the video description. Bruno. I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.